The dream of shadows. I chose to camp there, right there, because I couldn't risk losing the spot. The trees all look the same in the rift's autumn forest, gold layered over gold, pines whispering in the wind, shadows pooling where the moonlight didn't reach. If I wandered too far, if I miscounted the bends in the path, or let doubt sway my steps, I'd never find this place again. And if I lost it, I lost everything. My chance to meet Thalanor, my chance to understand the shadows that had called me for years. So I stayed. I built a small fire, pulled my cloak close, and let the night hold me. Opus scuttled in circles nearby, humming as it inspected every moss patch and pebble like an enthusiastic little scholar. Its noises were oddly comforting, steady, rhythmic, familiar. Eventually, exhaustion tugged at me, and sleep won. The dream rose instantly. I stood in a hall carved from endless stone. Runes pulsed along the walls, each beat syncing with my heartbeat. Shadows stretched long across the floor, waiting, expectant. When I lifted my hand, they answered. They wrapped around my limbs, weightless and obedient. With a thought, I vanished, reappearing in a whisper of darkness. My steps were soundless, my breath steadied. For the first time in my life, power thrummed through me without hesitation. Pure, sharp, whole. I shaped a blade from darkness itself. I spun shadows into a shield. I felt untouchable. But then the shadows shifted. Their edges grew jagged, their touch suffocating. They climbed my throat, my jaw, tightening as I tried to command them. My voice failed. My will dissolved. Darkness poured into me like water, into my lungs, into my eyes, into everything I was. The power that moments ago felt like flight now dragged me into crushing black. I tried to scream, only silence answered. I jerked awake with a gasp, heart hammering. Moonlight spilled across the clearing. The fire was a bed of dim embers. And for a breathless few seconds, I couldn't tell if the shadows around me were real or still clinging from the dream. A soft chirr pulled me back. Opus turned its lantern-like eyes toward me and tapped my hand gently. Warm, steady light pulsed from its core. My breath slowly evened. I'm still here, I whispered to both of us. Still me. The dream's terror clung to my skin, but beneath it, buried deep, was something else. Possibility, danger, a lesson. As the first hints of dawn brushed the treetops gold, I knew one thing with absolute certainty. I had to meet Thalanor, not to chase the shadows, but to master them before they consumed me. I didn't sleep the second night, even without dreams pressing at my throat. The memory of that shadowed hall lingered at the edges of my vision every time I blinked. So instead of trying to rest, I threw myself into the one thing that had always steadied my hands: alchemy. Before full night came, I foraged the forest for ingredients. The rift was generous in its strange autumn-lit way. I found patches of mountain flowers, crimson, blue, and purples. Scaly foliota clung between the fallen birch logs. Their golden caps warmed to the touch. Lavender scented the path, sweet and sharp. Near the water's edge, I gathered whitecaps nestled in the damp soil, and pried Nordic barnacles from beneath the water's surface. And tucked beneath a decaying stump, growing exactly where the old guides claimed they would, I spotted a cluster of wild gourds, rare and oddly comforting. My satchel grew heavy with possibilities. Back at camp, I coaxed a fire from dry pine and let it settle into a low glow. Opus perched beside me, humming as it polished one of its legs with endearing intensity. I arranged my reagents, letting Maser and Secunda spill their silver blue light across my workspace. I remembered how moonlight had shifted mixtures back in Balmora, how reagents seemed to hum differently under celestial eyes. Tonight, I tested them again. I crushed a sprig of crimson nirnroot against frost salt. The mixture glowed pink in the firelight, but when I lifted it under Maser's glow, it shifted into a soft violet, pulsing faintly. Beautiful, I breathed, scribbling notes in my journal. Next came a drop of columbine tincture over powdered void salts, crackling softly, then a sliver of scaly foliota, dried over flame and cooled beneath Secunda's pale touch. Each mixture changed in subtle ways, as though the moons nudged the ingredients into harmonies unseen in daylight. Opus clattered closer and tapped the parchment. Yes, yes, I murmured, smiling. I'll write everything down, I promise. The hours passed quietly. No fear, no shadows pressing at me. Only the soft rhythm of work, discovery, and the spider's gentle hum. When dawn finally brushed pale gold across the treetops, I had a small collection of lunar-kissed vials and ink-smudged notes ready to pack away. Tonight, I may meet Thalanor, the shadows, the unknown. But overnight, I had claimed something small but certain. Even darkness can be studied, understood, turned into light, if I meet it with steady hands and a curious heart.